wonder what super creative, super successful people have that maybe you don't, those traits that drive them to be their best or their most creative at what they do. Well, we're tapping into the brightest minds in the business to find out. My first guest is one of those brilliant minds. She believes much of what these successful innovators do, you can do too. So this morning, lessons you can learn from some of the most creative minds in business. Carly Hazen, a corporate recruiter with Perelson and Associates, is here with a list of creative people and the lessons we can learn from them. I'm excited about this. These are some powerful men and women.
For sure. And they're really kind of creatively shaping the future of business in ways that we may not even realize. They're innovative thought leaders. They're taking a model that maybe has existed for 30 years and just flipping it on its head.
Well, what can the average, though, stay-at-home mom who maybe just loves a good creative dose now and then learn from, say, the CEO of a very creative company?
Because you trace it back to their humble beginnings and you realize, like, 10 years ago, this was just a stay-at-home mom, just like me. 10 years ago, this person just had a really great idea on how to organize, photos that they were keeping of their kids, or how to maybe change the fashion industry, or they just love rap music and they thought they'd put an interesting spin on it and bring history into it. I mean, there's so many different ways to be inspired, because I think it's easy to look at someone who's famous or, making a fortune with something and just say, that would never be me.
Right.
But you look at how they began, and sometimes this is just on a whim or on a hunch or something that they're really passionate about. And then you go, my gosh, I have those ideas flowing through my head. I could do that.
Yeah. All right, you saw Listen to magazine, right? A business magazine?
Yeah, so Fast Company magazine is one of my favorite magazines, and they have an annual list of 100 top kind of creative business minds. And it ranges everything from tech entrepreneurs to fashion house designers to rappers to celebrities. And I always just find it really, really interesting, because you go through the list and you're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that that was the person behind this product that I love, or this new song, or this new anything. And then you realize there are reasons for putting this all together, and it's pretty inspiring. And it's a really long list. There's a ton of people that you'd never heard of, but every once in a while you're like, oh, learn something new.
I know her. I like her.
I like her.
You pulled from that list, added to your own. I noticed you've referenced a rapper 2 different times. Is that saying something about your inner passion?
Kind of love hip hop. I'm not gonna lie. Well, the first magazine I bought, a Fast Company magazine, had Pharrell on it, and I was in an airport, and I was like, I love Pharrell.
We know about Carly and Pharrell.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, topping your list, Lynn, Manuel, Miranda.
We had to put him at the top of the list because he was #1 on the list this year. If you don't know his name by now, you're probably crazy. He was the creator of Hamilton, the musical, and he's making history by using history, literally. He wrote the book, music, and lyrics for this rap musical, Hamilton.
Which everyone is talking about.
Everyone has either like a 12-year-old or a 19-year-old or their husband who are just obsessed. And the really cool thing about this, if you read the story about Lin-Manuel, in 2009, he performed at the White House and did kind of this first ever poetry jam for the Obamas. And he threw out this idea that he'd created a rap musical around Alexander Hamilton because he felt like Alexander Hamilton embodied the spirit of hip hop. And I mean, the crowd just broke into hysterical laughter and was like, yeah, right. So then he kind of rap performed the title song, Alexander Hamilton, and by the end of the song, people were like, this guy is no joke. This is incredible. And now it's one of the most successful. I mean, it's won Tony Awards. His last run, the last week of him kind of playing the title character, tickets were selling for $20,000 a piece. So no one's laughing now at that creative idea.
But I love that he took totally two unexpected situations. The history meets the rap.
He's kind of a history buff, and he loves hip hop. So yeah, that's...
Comedy can be serious business, and there were 2 funny ladies on your list, Amy Poehler and Tina Fey. What can we learn from them?
Well, Amy Poehler made the list of Fast Company's top 100 last year, and these 2 are pretty incredible. They speak the same comedy language, but I think the thing that's important is that it's going beyond entertainment, what the 2 of them are doing. They're really fronting projects that are smashing records for female-driven leads. We've always known that women can be funny, but now they're proving that women can be bankable. Some of these projects, I think Tina Fey was behind Mean Girls, then Bridesmaids came out with an all-female-driven cast, and they're showing that women can be big money at the box office, right? And incredibly talented.
And funny, women can be
very funny. They hosted the Golden Globes, and it was one of the top, viewed Golden Globes of all time.
I remember. All right, next, someone we may not know by name, but we'll definitely recognize her work. It's the woman behind the Target ads.
Yes, absolutely. Marissa Schrum is an advertising executive at a New York strategy firm called Mother New York. She does branding and creative Target for Target's home, apparel, and beauty lines.
Which you know a Target ad the second you see it before the Target even appears.
I know, and you watch a Target ad and you're like, I need to run a Target immediately.
like we need another reason.
Yeah, but I think the thing that she's done that's so creative is she taps into really what's current, kind of what's current on social media and what people are really longing for. One of her big social media campaigns recently is called No Fear of Missing Out. I think it's hashtag no FOMO. And it's all based on how women of every size and every shape should feel comfortable and welcome in a bathing suit. So they can enjoy summer more and vacations more, and really incredible positive kind of message campaign. And then you put it in that poppy visual Target format and makes it fun. Yeah.
So what can the everyday woman learn from Marisha Shrum, do you think?
I think that, you know, accepting people for who they are can be a big seller. Accepting people for the way that they look naturally. You don't need to alter that. You can accept it the way it is, and you can find products to fit you instead of changing you to fit the products.
Love it.
Right?
Yes, yes. All right, the creative genius at a popular clothing store, J. Crew, absolutely made your list. I love Jenna Lyons.
I know. Jenna Lyons has been kind of touted as the woman who dresses America. She took J. Crew's helm, I think, in like 2008. They were like a $350 million company. Now they're valued at over $2 billion.
Wow.
So you look at J. Crew along the lines of like the Eddie Bowers, and you think, what did she do differently? And, you know, she always felt a little awkward and felt a little offbeat, and started creatively designing to fit her, right? Instead of trying to fit into that mold. And boy, did it take off. I mean, everybody has a J. Crew piece.
So
in
ownership,
their wardrobe.
unique style, just be who you are.
Yeah, and take risks. You know, don't be afraid to get out there and take risks. And pair leopard with floral. I'm looking at right now. I mean, who would have thought of that, right?
Let's do it. Hey, your company was recently honored at the Mountain West Top 100 Growing Fastest Companies.
Yeah, it was a big event.
Companies.
Exactly, at Grand America. They throw it every year, and we were honored with a lot of locals. And there was another local group on the list, the Quigleys, for chapbooks, and they showed a little visual of their company that was really inspiring. But no, our company was invited as well, along with a lot of other industry leaders, and it's a real honor.
Well, congratulations to you. You're shining the spotlight now on the Quigleys. What can we learn from them and the success they've had with their chapbooks brand?
Their story's just so fascinating. You know, I think they have 7 children, ages from like 8 to 20, and you know, Vanessa really hit on something when she realized that after like baby number 3, you stop printing the photos. And in the digital era, we aren't printing photos at all.
Yeah, what do we do with
Plus, you're taking 10 times as much because you have so much more memory and film available. And she said, you know, it's so much more valuable to have something tangible that you can put your hands on or you can give as a gift. So they decided to create their company all around the convenience and the speed of just plugging in your iPhone and printing straight from your camera roll or from your Instagram.
Genius,
They're like $8, aren't they? I think is the price point. Beautifully designed, just very, very simple on either white or gray. You can do a hardback or a soft copy. But they're a local Utah family that really wanted to find a way to organize and store their memories.
And a mom who saw a need in her own life that resonated with women all over.
And they have not been around that long. I mean, these are recent, current ideas that you put into action. And yeah, I mean, now everybody has a chapbooks on their shelf.
See, an awesome list to glean from, creative minds that we can learn from as well. Thank you, Carly.
Yeah, you're welcome.